Let's go.
Yo, what up? And welcome back to your favorite #1 post-game show for your Memphis Grizzlies. We're back. We're better than ever. We don't have Nate tonight, so we're going to be missing him a little bit, but he was at the game. He might come by. He might stop by and at least say hello and see how the vibes were there in Utah. But we're going to have Anthony Sain with us very shortly. But if you're just joining us, this is the Grizz 901 post-game show for the Memphis Grizzlies. Welcome him. If you're watching on Twitter, thank you as always. But join us over on YouTube. We're seeing the chat just on my side over here. It's just popping left and right. It's good to see a lot of the OGs back, but it's a lot to see some new faces as well. So it's going to be a fun night overall. We're going to get to Sain here shortly, but just kind of looking around what we have planned for the entire show. It's what we always have planned. We're going to go ahead and get into majority of the show is going to be about breaking the game down. It's going to be going through a lot of the players and just discussing the highs and lows of the different guys. But then after we get out of the full breakdown of the game, we're going to go to the player of the game. And it's a new little segment. I know we did it some last year, but not as much. Then we get into everyone's favorite, and that is Grizz Trivia. We'll get into that in our middle section. And then the last segment, it's brand new. It's going to be the look around and the look ahead. And so we have some cool things planned for that. So make sure you tune in all the way to the end of the show. But if you would, do me a favor. Go ahead, especially if you're in YouTube, go ahead and hit the like button. It helps us out with the algorithm. But all right, so I am here by myself so far. Sain will be joining me, but I'm going to go ahead and get into a little bit of the game. But as we all know, the Grizzlies win 126-124. But looking through these, I got to bring up some of the OGs because they're already here. The Black Ninja DJ. Good to see everyone again. It absolutely is. Wayno, pop him in from overseas. It's a little huff is tough. And so welcome, boys. Welcome to everybody else that's been here as well. Even though Goon the Shooter, we'll give you a little love too. But he is a resident Grizz, I guess, Jaren hater. But Jaren will be back. Looks like the first game back Saturday. But boys, I don't think we need to waste any more time. Let's go ahead and bring in our guy, Anthony Sain. Yo, Sain, what up, man? What up?
Man, Grill, what's up with you, my boy?
Not much, man. How was your opening night for yourself? How was it for you?
Man, loved it, man. Just saw a mature team get a mature victory, man. It's big game one on the road against Utah. The Utah team, man, it's really such an injustice because those dudes just like when you're constantly tanking like that, and you got guys who there's enough talent on that team to be good. Right. They don't know how to turn it up. They don't know how to finish games. So that's what you get in this culture of losing the tank for certain picks or whatever. Then you get the pick you want, right? Got a bunch of dudes who still don't know how to win around them. So yeah. But big win
for sure. And it was a game that honestly, you look at it on paper like we should have really beat them.
Oh yeah,
pretty bad. But I don't, and we'll get into the game in general. And I see all these talking about the free throws and the refs. That it looked atrocious. It was back in we're mid-season for sure with the refs there. But I don't want to get in too deep just yet. Let's go stay surface level and just looking at the team overall. Just kind of coming off the top rope. What's your best thing you saw tonight?
Just the ease in which Ja was able to affect the game. Like we've watched Ja over the years, closing games, hitting big shots all the time, and just having key moments where he just takes over games. But it literally looked like he was playing with Utah out there throughout the whole game, and he only played 28 minutes, I believe. And just the ease and just maturity, man. I just see so much maturity from this team right now as opposed to years in the past. And just, his leadership and how when Edie was struggling, Ja was, the guy talking to him and really getting on him about certain things he was doing and helping him, like the ease and maturity of the game with Ja definitely what stood out to me the most. And and Desmond Bane just going crazy. Like literally looking like he's in the chase for All-Star berth or whatever. But yeah, those two things for sure stood out to me the most.
Yeah, see, so my biggest thing was it was probably Santi just getting hot early. It helped carry the team early on. It kind of helped everybody get into the flow. But the good thing I saw was, honestly, it was Jay Huff.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I like Jay Huff. I know somebody earlier, I think it was Wayno, put in Huff is stuff. Like, Jay Huff looked good, especially for a backup big, for an emergency big. I think
right.
he's way above that level.
Mhm.
And we're getting to a little bit of the lowlights soon, but I think Jay Huff it played well. Obviously, Ja, Dez were great as well. But I'm curious, really, how this how going forward, how this rotation plays out, because there's a lot of guys I didn't love. So, is there anything that just kind of out of this game you're like, hey, this worries me?
Yeah, the last minutes of the game, want to say it was like 6 minutes left. All of a sudden I'm talking about myself. Oh, okay, that's cool. All right. So the last 6 minutes of the game, right? So like the Grizzlies are kind of struggling. Jalen Wells is getting fouls and Utah's coming back. And the game just a timeout. And I'm like, okay, he's gonna close the game with Smart. He's gonna close the game with Smart and Ja, right?
Right.
And then that didn't happen. You know what I mean? You want to say you might have brought Ja back, or no, you brought Smart back in eventually. Ja still didn't come back until the 4-minute mark. It's just things like that. Like that game very well could have went something different. And Jalen Wells was clearly out there drowning. He was, just looking like a rookie would do in this type of game. Just he was out there drowning, just constantly fouling guys and sending guys to the free throw line. And it's just those little things with Taylor Jenkins. He's just got to sure those things up a little bit faster in the game. It's like it literally didn't make any sense at all. Like I was like, okay, so you got the timeout. It's like 6 minutes left. John and Marcus Smart is just kind of chilling, bring those guys in and let's close the game. It just didn't happen. So that bothered me more than anything.
Okay, we'll get into a little bit of Jenkins stuff, but I want to go into Brandon Clark. I'm looking at Brandon Clark, and I'm seeing the player that he is now compared to what we know of him used to be. I don't know if he fits this team, and I'm not saying I don't love Brandon Clark and who he is. I just don't know if he can get back to the same level that he can or should be at, I guess, whenever we sign him to a contract. But honestly, if you relook at it, I don't know if he fits the style that the Grizzlies want to play with anymore. I know we have Zach Edey, who's the big guy. I just don't know if BC is going to give us the bounce that he really needs with the floater if he plays into the style of the offense. So I'm curious, really, what happens with our guy BC if he goes forward. But all right, let's get into Taylor Jenkins. I know the people are always talking about it real quick, and I know who was in here talking about it. I saw somebody talking about King Meeks. He's talking about Taylor Jenkins here. Can we talk about y'all's favorite coach, Jenkins? What the hell was he thinking in the fourth? I was pissed, and I was trying to get the show ready, trying to make sure we were good. This is the first one, obviously. And I kept looking, I go, Ja's still not in the game. Like that worries me. I don't know why that was so late of a sub in, because he sat way too long in the fourth. But the rotations, obviously, I know you talked about a little bit more, but what's your thoughts on the rotations or anything with the coaching tonight?
Man, I was the same way I criticized Jenkins for how that fourth quarter was looking. I got to give a man props for going with Jalen Wells, the guy who's been actually performing in the preseason, as opposed to, the Jake LaRavias of the world, the John Conchars of the world. Like having him being the first guy that comes off the bench and playing him late in the fourth, even though I think he played him a little bit too long. I did like the fact that he's showing that trust in Jalen Wells. So I think it's just a better basketball player, even at this point in his career, than those two guys, strictly because he's a knockdown shooter, and we saw that. But yeah, I have to give him credit for that. The rotations, they kind of are what they are. You're down a lot of guys right now. No major injuries really, except for Gigi, of course. But you've got a lot of little nagging injuries, so you got guys that are out of the rotation. So it kind of is what it is. You have to play that many dudes. So I don't really have much issue with that. Yeah, I don't really have too much issue with that at all. And I did like the fact that he let Edey foul out. Just let him play. Just let him play. Let him get a feel for the game. Use all your fouls. And I was down for that for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Real quick on this, coming in from Mark, me taking time to get the show ready is way more than FanDuel did in the last 2 weeks, apparently. Bless you. But listen, from what I heard, it wasn't bad for me in general. Like I watched it on my iPad, and I sent it to a different TV, whatever room I was in. I kept sending it to different TVs. It worked great for me. I have no issues, so I can't throw shade just yet.
No, I did not see what people see. And this is my first year having legit like streaming in 15 plus years. Like I've been bootleg streaming games forever, you know what I mean? And I caved in and I got Bally's today. I mean, during the that Dallas preseason game is what made me go ahead and get it.
Yeah.
And, I don't see what you guys are seeing. Like mine never shut down.
Right.
And then I've heard people say things like, "Oh, I can't get Bally's or I can't get FanDuel on my cable service." I don't know what you guys' experience is, but like I downloaded the app and I pay for it through the app. Like I don't have any other cable service. I don't know if people don't know that's available or
right.
I'm behind, but yeah, I don't have anything. I just pay for the Bally's app, just like I pay for Netflix or.
Yep.
So that's how I'm rolling it.
So and that's what I did as well. And there's different ways to maybe cut the cost. We'll say, if you want to really know, feel free to hit me up. But I'm not going to announce that here. But I will say that it is like $123.99, which it's not terrible. It ends up coming, depending on how long they play into the season. I believe it's less than $20 a month. But if you pay monthly, it's $20 a month. It's not terrible. We watch stupid Netflix for less than that.
Yeah.
And honestly, I would probably pay a lot more if that was the only way we could watch it. So I'm down with it. But all right. So I think somebody just said it was $20 a month that you saw.
That's what I'm paying.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you all for joining us. This is the Grizz 101 post-game show for the Grizzlies. The chat is moving so fast. I love it. I can't see a lot of what's happening besides this one. I love Bally's is trash. League pass for the win.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, Sherman, if you are in Memphis, which I don't know if you are or not, you can't watch the Grizzlies if you're on League Pass. So that's an issue. But listen, it's flying by. I love it. I appreciate it. But a new segment that we have is the player of the game. And so we're going to break down a little bit more and dig in a little bit more to the actual players. But I want to go ahead and get into our player of the game. Grizz 101 player of the game is Santi Aldama tonight. Santi comes in with 27 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. He never passed the ball, but he had 5 3-pointers. Thoughts on Santi tonight?
Oh, he went in. I made a tweet where I talked about how, for years we heard, how Zaire Williams plays so much better with Ja, right?
Right.
But look what happens when you got a guy who can actually play basketball with Ja. You know what I mean? Like Ja really took his game to the next level. Santi was incredible tonight. I can't lie. He's been really good. Even in the preseason, he's been good. He still has a couple bird brain stretches where he just does things like Santi, what are you doing? Like, what are you thinking?
Right.
But he played very well, very aggressive, scoring. He looked like he had the España across his chest tonight.
I saw that tweet come out from you.
Yeah, he's like Santi's a very talented basketball player. Like sometimes he has the lapses of, where you question the basketball IQ with him sometimes, but he's a very talented basketball player that can dribble, pass, and shoot. And I put out a tweet saying, we got Lauri Markkanen at home. There's a lot of similarity in their games. You know what I mean? And he's a really good basketball player, but he just has to be. He struggles with being consistent, struggles with being, aggressive and things like that. And decision making, but like he had a great game. There's nothing I can say to knock his game. And a big rebound at the end of the game.
Right.
Santi he played. Yeah, I'm down. He played well.
Yeah, as Drew's saying here, him looking into the, I guess, flowing into the offense was I always thought it was going to be a good fit for him. And so I'm curious what it'll be. But it is, like, I don't know if anybody realizes this offense, like, it's going to be the 5 out. Sometimes it's a 4 out, 1 in. Mm-hmm. A lot of it's just getting to the free throw line. A lot of it's getting into the paint, the dribble drive, the kicks, just keep on passing the ball, right? You just want to create that movement of the basketball. That way you're not having to worry about, getting downhill as much. You'll get create the open shots. Mm-hmm. Santi's done well. And I think Santi's played well. It's European style basketball. I don't know if y'all realize this, but Santi may or may not be the best Spanish player in the entire league right now, which I didn't realize, but he is the best Spanish player in the league, which is crazy. But tonight, all in all, I think Santi played a great game. And so he is the Grizz 9-1 player of the game. But we're going to get into a little bit more breaking down their players. We'll be right back. All right, we are breaking down the rest of these guys as I completely missed my transition. What was that? What is this? What is this?
I thought we were taking a break.
No, we don't take breaks around here. What are you talking about? All right, let's get into more of the guys real quick. I'm trying to figure out my flow and what I want to do now, and so probably won't do that next time. But I want to ask you about some other guys. Ja, obviously, double-double, 22, 10 assists, 5 rebounds. Thoughts on Ja, real quick.
Man, like I said, just maturity, man. Like Ja really looks like he's playing the game in slow motion in his head. Like he was just, going at probably half speed and was killing everybody. Just a lot of leadership on the court from Ja, like I talked about, the ability to get to the basket and not just going blindly to the basket and just throwing stuff at the rim, but making plays for other guys. A lot of Santi's points that he scored in that fourth quarter was because of Ja's playmaking. And Ja just he really looks scary at certain points of the game. Like it may be just be the fact that we miss him, like we just haven't seen him over the last couple of years, but he looked phenomenal for sure.
Yeah, I loved what Ja was doing. He didn't score as much as I thought he would. He wasn't taking a lot of shots. If you look at this, Aldama had 16 attempts overall, and then Bane had 20 attempts overall, which is crazy to me that those two guys, and then Ja has 12. Like that is not like what I expected tonight, which I know he's getting into the front of the rim and he's kicking. But going into Bane real quick, it's 24 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 fouls, 4 3-point made. Everything was coming up for us tonight. Bane looked good to you?
Oh yeah, Bane was incredible, man. There were stretches where I was like, all right, this version of Dez in the in transition. The spin moves he kept doing on guys that were just creating space, for him. Of course, knocking down the threes and just those corner threes he was taking from the top of the screen, like he was. I was like, God, dog, like Bane was going crazy for real. But yeah, like I said, he looks real. He looks fast. He's playing very fast out there. And in the preseason, I was kind of concerned because I was like, this offense looked a little too fast for Bane. He looks rushed, but he definitely doesn't look rushed to me now. He looks like he's ready. He looks like he looks like an all-star. And like I said, I tell people this all the time that I think the best version of this Grizzlies team is if someone else is not the lead, someone else other than Ja is the leading scorer. And this thing is really set up to where Desmond Bane could have a crazy season this year. You know what I mean? That he will be the leading scorer. But if you look up in there nights where Bane is leading us to victory, where he's got 30-something points and Ja's got 20-something, I wouldn't be surprised to see that. And I think that's a good flow of the game if Ja's an opportunity where he can, allow Dez to cook like this. So I was excited about what I saw from Dez for sure.
Yeah, as Don one says, downhill Dez for sure. All right, so those are the guys that I felt like did well in the starters, and I know there's some other guys we can talk about. We talked about Jay Huff, who played well, and I think overall the bench played fine. But I want to talk about 2 guys. I don't love this fit on the team, and I'm on record saying it. Marcus Smart played fine. He had 11 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 fouls. He went 1 of 6 from 3, 3 of 11 overall. I didn't love how he played tonight.
Yeah, Marcus Smart has still got to catch on with this team. He's still got to find his fit, find his role. But he played very well down the end. Like I said, he did stop the bleeding when Jalen Wells was just going foul crazy. And Smart came in and made some, big plays down the end. I want to say he got he scored maybe 4 points down the stretch of the game. He's just a guy that's just pretty smart. Like I mean, no pun intended. Like he's a very high IQ basketball player. He got that vet move where he did the little swim. I mean, not swim through. What they call it, the little sweep through move, and he got fouled because he knew Utah was in the bonus. So he just made the game simple. So like I said, we got to remember Marcus Smart has played like 0 games with Ja in them, right? I think he's played like maybe 3 or 4 games with Ja. And I think he's just that's gonna happen in time. I'm not really worried about him because he's a vet player that I know can play basketball. His shot will come and go. That's just kind of who he is. He's an inconsistent shooter, rip through. Thank you. Yeah, he's just like I said. Shout out to Sherman Jones. He just makes winning plays. Like he did that towards the end of the game. And when I was saying, I said on Twitter that get Wells out and get Smart and Ja back in.
Yeah.
And I know Candace Haggins was like, no, Smart ain't looking good. I said, yeah, I get what you're saying, but last minutes of the game, your vets are going to make vet moves, and he came in and did exactly that. So I think Smart will be fine. He's just got to gel with this team and can continue to find his role. But like I said, 11 points, 5 rebounds. I'm not knocking that. A lot of great defensive plays. I'm not knocking none of that. And like I said, man, he looks a lot better than he looked last year this time.
True.
So yeah, I'm fine with Marcus Smart. And here's the thing with him. I'm going to continue to be positive about him because I need him to be either really good for us or really good for somebody else. So I don't him looking bad ain't an option. I need him to look good. So whether that's good for us or good for somebody else, I'm pulling for Marcus Smart.
No doubt. Well, Skinny says, y'all like and subscribe if you don't mind. If you're over there on Twitter, come hang out with us in, I guess, the YouTube land. I'm telling you, all the OGs. There's a lot of new people, so welcome. The chat, literally, it will keep popping like this on a consistent basis where you kind of come and the show is fine. Like we try to do a good job. Me and Nate try to hold it down, but in all, we really just depend on the chat to kind of be who you are. And you are showing out as always tonight. But let's go ahead and go to our guy, Zach Edey. So Zach Edey, he played okay. He looked like a rookie. He fouled out. You talked earlier about Taylor Jenkins allowing him to be in the game late, even after he picked up his 5th foul, not pulling him out right away, letting him see if he can mature through it, work through it. 9 minutes in the game. And honestly, he fouls out. So your thoughts on Edey tonight?
Yeah, man, it was rough. Edey, my guy, I've got big expectations for him. I think he'll be a phenomenal player in this league. He's just got to get used to things, man. Like, go download the new operating system, Edey. He got some new upgrades. And maybe the altitude in Utah was bothering the Wi-Fi. He couldn't get his download tonight. But like I said, Edey will be fine. And I think that a lot of the comments you heard, like things Desmond Bain was saying, the things Ja was saying, they're going to take care of him and they'll get him going. And there were things, whether he was having a good game, rebounding or scoring or not, where he definitely was affecting the game. You could see as soon as he came out of the game, Utah went on an 11-0 run because there were things that Ja was telling him, just rim run to the basket. And teams have to respond to that. And it was opening up the driving lanes for Ja and opened up the lanes for three-pointers, etc. So he'll be fine. And I think the guys on this team, the players on the court, they're going to be intentional about getting them going. And this franchise is going to be intentional about getting them going as well. There's something about the Grizzlies that, like, they're so gung-ho about developing guys and doing what they need to do that I'm not really concerned with Edey getting it going at all because they're going to give him every opportunity to get it going for sure. But we've seen them put more effort in the worst players. So I think I think Edey will be fine for sure.
So you're saying if they just put half the effort that they put into Jake LaRavia and Zaire and Roddy, will be okay.
If they put him on the David Roddy plan, I mean, Zach Edey's going to be a beast. If you use him the same way with the same intention that you use with those guys, he'll be good.
See,
so that's another point too. Like Don Juan said, like John Collins was nullified in that game. He was going off, but not being able to deal with Edey, it got him in foul trouble, and it just kind of took him out of the game. Edey's going to affect the game a lot more than just what he does in points, rebounds. The screens are going to go crazy, and just forcing teams to have to do stuff they don't want to do. And I think Edey, just with his size and just his abilities on the court, you'll see that a lot throughout the season.
So looking at Edey, just diving in a little bit more. Obviously, he had 6 points, 5 rebounds. He, I think he missed every free throw he had. Maybe not. Maybe he made one. 2 of 4 overall. Obviously, chalk it up to a rookie. But the thing that worries me the most is the rebounding. And I don't know your thoughts on this, and I know mine. And I'm trying to maybe ask more of you because they'll hear so much more of me on this show. If you want to catch the Anthony Sain show every Wednesday and Friday at noon. But I just don't love the positioning that Edey does for rebounding. There is zero positioning. It's all about using size just get around the rim and the ball bounces your way, so be it. Like that's his rebounding mechanics. That's his methodology. Like that's really what he does. And I don't know if that's going to be good enough to be able to use your size because everybody else is a little bit more athletic than you are.
Yeah, I agree with you as well. His rebounding technique doesn't look the best. He's going to get, if he's on the court, if he's playing, 20-something, 30 minutes a game, and that in foul trouble, he'll stumble into 10, 12 rebounds. That's going to happen. But he doesn't. We had this conversation off the air. He's not a good rebounder, even though he has good rebounding numbers. I don't know if that makes sense, but it does.
Yeah.
He's not a really good positional rebounder. He's just big as hell, and he gets rebounds.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's something that I think he'll have to adjust to, and I think that's something he will adjust to. He's still a guy who just picked up a basketball 6 years ago.
True.
That's something that he's adjusted to everything in time. And in college basketball, he really didn't have to, like you said. He was, playing against a lot of guys that had teams that had 6'7", 6'8" centers. You know what I mean? And he's 7'4", so he's had that advantage over guys. But I think in time, man, like he's such a ball of clay. You know what I mean? That he still has so much to learn. He's still very raw at the game. Typically, when you talk about guys being raw basketball players, it's some super athletic player, some guy like that. But there are also guys like Zach Edey that are just monster men who are still learning basketball on the fly. But I'm confident that he'll get it. I mean, and like I said, he'll stumble into double doubles just by just being on the court and not fouling out. So yeah, I think it's fine. It's just the fact that, like I said, that we sat there and watched in real time. Once he fouled out of the game, Utah went on a run because there were so many things that were different with him being off the court. So I just think he's just got to work on just the timing of the game, understanding the game, staying on the court, not getting bad fouls. But shout out to Taylor Jenkins, like you said, once again, letting him foul out. And I know Jaren Jackson Jr. feels away, who 5 years career, Taylor Jenkins never let him foul out. Never let him foul out, man. So yeah, I know Jaren probably feels away for sure.
I know he's pretty pissed about that, but I think it's all in all, it comes down to he's not as important to the team, honestly, as Jaren is currently. Like maybe in his rookie year, they're letting Jaren foul out. Like it is what it is, buddy. Like we know whatever. We don't need you. We're not going to win. But I don't think it's that big of a deal. All right, let's wrap up this a little bit. I have a fun thing that we're going to do right before we take our first break. But kind of looking through this, I don't know if there's anybody else that you want to discuss or talk about. I know Jaren's supposedly coming back Saturday, the first home game. So if you're going to be in attendance,
the game in between. I didn't really been paying attention to the schedule. I thought it was today and then they play Saturday. I didn't know. So Jaren's going to miss 2 games. I didn't know that.
Yep, Jaren will miss 2 games. He'll miss Friday night versus Houston. To which Nate will be back with us. If anybody's asking, Nate he was at the game. He just texted me, said he's not even at the interstate yet. So I don't know if he's even going to have a chance to even hop on just for a few minutes later in the show. We talked about Huff. Conchar was fine. He's going to do Conchar stuff. He's going to get rebounds.
He had a big shot in the fourth too.
Yeah, and he's not going to really hurt you. That's why I'm okay with Conchar. I know I actually love Conchar. I like how he plays. I'm not big on him. He's the 12th, 13th guy. Okay. Yeah. Let's just be honest.
And when we're full strength, none of that stuff really matters.
No, he should not be playing. But in a pinch, he's great to rely on. And I think that's going to be especially early in the year. You have to understand, I'd rather see Jitty over Jake, just being honest. Yeah. I don't want to see Jake at all. But that's just kind of where we're at. Yeah. Anybody else that you want to talk about before we kind of move on and off of it, guys?
Kind of concerned about Scottie Pippen Jr. He didn't have a bad game per se.
Yeah.
But just like when we got Vincent Gigi back and Kennard is back, I don't particularly think we need a point guard on the court. Like another small point guard on the court when Ja's out of the game. Like the offense that we run, do we really need another? I don't know, man. Like I said, he wasn't bad today per se. And he actually made a lot of good plays on defense. Like, I think, those things are awesome. But it's just, if we got Vince, Gigi, Kennard, those guys are healthy, I don't want anybody sitting down for Scottie Pippen Jr. to be out there. Like, right. I don't know. I'm waiting to see on it. I need to see what they look like healthy and what those Scottie Pippen Jr. minutes look like. Because I think they can still, Ja can play more minutes because Ja was kind of vibing today. And then you can let Smart play more on the ball, Vince, those type of things. But they're not really running a point guard heavy offense. We're just getting the ball and going. And once they get in the half court set, everybody's a playmaker. So I don't know. That's the only thing I'm kind of worried about. Like how do they handle those rotations once they get healthy as far as Scottie Pippen Jr. is concerned?
The rotations will be, I think the rotations are going to be weird, but I think that, yes, they might be weird, but they're not going to be weird once we get Vince and GG back. Like, I don't see any world where any of those guys play over GG or Vince.
Let me stop you, Grill. Let me see if I can pull this up. I totally disagree with this. He says Vince is very close.
I thought it was the opposite.
No, Vince is very close. He says Gigi probably not until January. I totally disagree. I think Gigi's gonna be back a lot sooner than then. I think I'm going late November on Gigi.
No, he's December.
He ain't January.
No, he's not January. I think he's earlier than that.
He might, if it's December, we ain't talking Christmas. We talking like mid-December.
I think I said the first or second week of December. I thought he'd be back.
Yeah.
Jaren or Jay Huff. LOL. Nope. Jones. That's a big nope from me.
Come on now.
I'm very high on Jay Huff because I think he fits this offense.
For sure,
pretty well.
Yeah.
But
another thing too, man, like with Edey, with the way that Edey impact the game, you got to remember, like Edey was impacting the game like that with no Jaren on the court. Like, what will our defense look like? Because there were moments in the first half where our defense looked really good against Utah. They really couldn't get anything going. And what's it going to look like when you got Jaren out there with Edey? You know what I mean? So, I'm looking forward to all that.
Franklin, what's up, Franklin? He's asking about Cam Spencer. Cam Spencer's fine. I think Cam Spencer.
Man. He's on a two-way.
He's on a two-way. He'll be fine.
When he's healthy, you got to go see him in South Haven because he ain't. I don't really care about his ankles. Sorry. But yeah.
All right, Nate's gonna. I think Nate's gonna try to join us here in a little bit. But make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe to the show. But I have something funny I want to show you, and then right after this video, we're gonna try to take our first break. But I saw this video, and I thought you would love it, Sain. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if we can go ahead and try to play it real quick.
1, 2, 3, My Grizzlies don't mess around. We are fine in the West, in this I know faux show. We missed the playoffs last year, but this year is different. 12 is hot to go. Don't try to tell me we won't win the title. We are gonna win it all. Thank God for Edey, Jaren, Vincent, Scottie, Gigi, Marcus Smart et al. Banja. We've got our squad back. Oh, we've got our squad back. And Ja will pass you Brandon, who will dunk really tall. Luke, Jake, and Desmond. Oh, Luke, Jake, and Desmond. Those guys are really scary when their shots start to fall. If what they say is Memphis has no centers, then what makes Huff the exception? So why are you here in the grindhouse when you know you're not winning here? Banja.
I think Zach Edey played well. He got his fouls in. He got them in for sure. But we saw some flashes of really what he can do. Whether that's setting screens or just whether blocking shots or just making guys change their mind about shots or just affecting the quality of shots that guys were getting in the game. We saw that a lot. They gotta use him though, man. They gotta be able to find him a little bit.
I was about to say they especially the whole first quarter. It was like because I think that lob that Ja had him, that was his first points of the game. So it was like the whole first quarter. I did peep that. It was like I see everybody else attempting 5+ shots.
Right,
y'all got to find a way to give Zach Edey something like at some point. Everything was running well last night, right? The offense was flowing well. It's gonna come a stretch of time where they're gonna be stagnant, and at that time, that's when I expect them. Okay, hey, let's run the post play to Zach Edey.
Tune in to The Anthony Sain Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
What up and welcome back to Grizz 901, your number one Memphis Grizzlies post-game show. We're here with Sain. We're going to be with him in just a second, but do me a favor. Go ahead and subscribe and like the video tonight, but subscribe to the Bluff City Media video, the channel here on YouTube. Do us a big favor there because there's so much good content. Honestly, there's stuff each and every week. But Sain, who's joining us, is live, bringing out shows every Wednesday at noon and Friday at noon. The $2 Sports shows comes on Friday. I believe it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I know you have No Bluffins on Monday and at noon. There's so much content. We're going to be here each and every weekday game. And so as soon as the game ends, make sure you join us. But we have a lot that we're going to get through. But a lot of people's favorite, I know King Meeks. I think I've seen King Meeks here tonight, but King Meeks' favorite is Grizz Trivia. That's coming up next. All right, Sain, we got some Grizz Trivia for you tonight. All right, so not including tonight, I was hoping he would have a better night tonight, but Ja Morant has been dynamite on his opening night. That's not the first game of the year because obviously he missed a little bit of time, but on his opening night, he is the leading scorer of the franchise on average. So not including tonight. What is his average on opening night the last 4 seasons?
Oh, shoot. I don't know. You asking me for real?
I'm asking you.
I don't know. I think it's probably like 22, 23 points per game.
That's it.
Man, pay me, bro. Pay me.
Ja Morant, his rookie season, first game, 44 points. Sophomore season, 37 points.
Wait, what? 44? No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Ja first game, he scored 44 points. For real? Damn.
2 seasons ago, 34 points. Last year, around Christmas time, whenever that was, 34 points. He's averaged 37.25. I think that's right. I think that's actually supposed to be 34. 37.25 is his average on opening night.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yep.
Ja's going crazy.
Ja has been crazy. So LL Nope Jones says 30-something. For sure. All right. Hey, King Mix is here. So King Mix is here. Is your show on Friday? Sain, when's your show?
Every Wednesday, every Friday.
Okay. Yep. Every Wednesday, Friday, we're always coming out. But all right, let's go ahead and take a second. We have, I think we have Nate here, so we're going to try to bring him in if we can real quick. But I believe Nate is here. Nate, are you with us?
Yo, can y'all hear me okay? Or I have Ryan internet?
Yeah. You good, my guy?
You don't have Ryan internet right now. You're good. What's up, Nate?
Dog, there ain't no way Ja dropped 44 in his first game of his career. That's a
lie. He did.
Nah.
That's not true, man. I don't think that's true.
There's no way. That's the only reason I joined the show is to make sure you don't lie to the people.
Google me.
Okay, I will. I don't have enough battery to make it through the show and Google stats, but somebody look it up. No way.
All right. Well, it's probably true. Why would it not be true?
Because I remember his rookie season. He had a bunch of assists, not as many points.
All right. All right. So would you like to make a bet? If he did, then I want you to do the show by yourself on a Sunday of my choice.
That's just not happening regardless. I'll say because I know I'm right, but I mean it's not happening.
All right, so the first game of the year.
It's
You're there
season.
In Utah, first win of the season. How was it?
Dude, J Huff is only to be referred to by his full Christian name.
What's his full Christian name?
J Huff. That's it. He's not to be called Jay. He's not to be called Huff. It's J Huff. That dude, I was super impressed with J Huff.
Greer wrong as hell too, bro.
Say what?
Greer is wrong as hell.
Oh, there's no chance.
He scored 14 in his first game, bro.
You're off by 30.
I remember that game because Miami beat the hell out of us. And what's the guy's name we traded for? He busted our ass that game.
That's not true.
Greer, you're wrong, Greer.
You're looking at the wrong year. His second year, he dropped 44 on San Antonio. I don't even have Google pulled up. I know that's the right.
Sean Coleman.
You lost me already.
The leading scorer for opening night, Ja Morant, 44.
That was his second year against San Antonio.
I'm looking at it right now.
It's beside the point. Let's get back to
Fire the stat guy. Fire your stat guy, Greer.
No, I am the stat guy.
I thought
that's bad. That's why I keep losing my bets.
I thought you said it was Sean Cole. Yeah, Justice Winslow tore us up that game.
So he was 12-23. I guess it was there. Anyway, shut up. All right, this is my show. F you. All right, so the show,
That's
obviously the game in general. What's your thoughts?
It was clearly the first game of the season, but it was fun, man. It was fun. There was, I think I heard Sain talk about this already when I was tuning in before I hopped on. Ja and Desmond Bane look like they're playing a different game than everybody out there. Des missed a bunch of shots that he would normally make. Man, he just, it looks like he's just playing on a different level. Ja looks like he's playing on a different level out there. It's fun to watch, man. It's a lot of fun to watch. Santi looks like he's playing for a contract because he is. There's still times where he needs to play more like a big, but he played really well. We'll get to one guy everybody wants to talk to last. Wells, I was impressed with.
Okay. Why?
Just looks like he belongs. He's where he needs to be. He got a bunch of rookie foul calls tonight, but he was defending really well. Like, there's a bunch of calls that they're not calling on Marcus Smart that they were calling on Jalen Wells tonight. Right. But he looks like he was ready to shoot the shot every time he got the ball. He looks like he belonged in the offense. He definitely still looked like a rookie, but he looked like a rookie who belongs in the NBA. I was impressed with Wells tonight. Jake was a body out there. Like, that's it. The guy's not going to get minutes when these other guys get back unless something drastically changes in the next couple of weeks. Trying to think of who else. BC looked like he had bounce a couple of times. Hold
on, real quick. Saying, are you drinking a Red Bull? Like, it's legit 11:30 at night.
That's what I do, bro.
Yeah, I love the first thing I heard when I tuned into the show on the walk back to the car was Sain talking about bootlegging streams for years. And I was dying on the sidewalk, man.
Hey, Grill, how you know I ain't got something to do after this show go on, bro?
You might. I don't. I'm trying to go to bed. I'm trying to go down from like I'm going 100 to like I need to go to 100 to 0, maybe 5, and then like eventually slide in the bed, then be at 0. I don't know where I'm at if I'm taking a Red Bull right now. Like, that's not gonna do me.
I ain't gonna drink the whole thing. I just took a couple,
just a little, just
get the job done.
Yeah.
All right, so who you want to talk about? I want to hear about Edey.
That's who everybody wants to talk about, and this is not a game to judge Edey based off of for a couple of reasons. It was clear from the get-go Kessler took Summer League personal.
Right.
Kessler took Summer League personal in the fact that he was playing Summer League at all, first off. But
how was he playing Summer League? That still doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. It's Danny Ainge doing Danny Ainge things. But Edey ran into a buzzsaw of, one, Kessler took it personal. He has NBA experience, and it showed. He knew where to be. He knew the angles to play, and Edey didn't. 2, that crowd in Utah, I like to rip on Utah a lot. I'm pretty justified in ripping on Utah. That is a tough arena to play in as your first game as a rookie. That place gets loud, and they are right on top of you. I mean, I got free Chick-fil-A because he missed both free throws, but I had no faith in him making both free throws in the fourth quarter start.
And they're all white, so like it kind of could be scary for some.
Yeah, I mean, sort of. I mean, it's blinding light behind the basket. But it's a loud place, man. It's a truly tough environment. They have a really good home court environment there. Number 3, this team does not look at all like what it's going to look like when you get down the road. Let me tell you something. Mm-hmm. Until we get Jaren and Vince especially back, and then Gigi's obviously going to help with this too, we ain't defending no damn body.
Right.
We are small, man. We're small. There's nobody to help protect the paint other than Edey. And no one's going to be hurt more by Jaren being out than Zach Edey. Like when Jaren gets back there on Saturday, Edey's going to have such an easier life because he doesn't have to hold it down by himself and clean up after the guards by himself. It's going to make all the difference in the world. So, spacing wise, that's going to be something else to figure out. But defensively, that's going to help the team a ton. But there's just a lot working against him in his first game. I think there's nothing but better days ahead for him.
Better days ahead.
I see one of the comments says that the lights were bright. Hold on. I guess I could pull up on the screen. Hold on, yeah.
No.
Damn, my bad. Put it back up, man. My bad.
Red Bull's not working.
Yeah. He says the lights were bright for both rookies as expected, right? But they didn't look bad. Like Edey and Wells both look like they belong in the league. And that's something that you got to be excited about it because both of those guys showed real flashes of being able to play. Like Wells was able to, was able to such a great concept, man. A guy who's actually a label to be a shooter in college, who you pass the ball, and he could actually make those shots in the NBA. And that's something that he's done, unlike the Jake LaRavias of the world who were labeled as a shooter coming out of college. All the things I read about Jake LaRavia when it came down to shooting, right? But to have a guy who actually has the confidence to come in and knock down shots like Jalen Wells as a rookie, and he got his fouls in. I think he had 8 of them in the fourth, but Wells will be fine and Edey be good too. So yeah, I'm excited about that for sure.
And as Art says, Edey will adjust to the speed of game. That's a real thing. I know people don't realize it. Go down to the first 5-10 rows of a game if you ever can, and you'll have so much more respect for these guys when they're playing. They're literally running and colliding like when they're just going down the court, just on a normal, just a run going through. If you see Steph Curry coming off of screens, those dudes are hitting hard, but also they're big and like they are like it's a fast paced game. And so sometimes you need to catch up a little bit. And so it's so much faster than the college game. But once he catches up, once he figures it out, he needs to be a little bit more quick twitch, but also catches the ball and immediately dunks, immediately goes, then he'll be fine. But right now he's a little bit slow in that. But what else do you have? I don't want to keep you forever. I know you're probably trying to get home from wherever you are.
Yeah, we're interstate Nate tonight. But Edey, the other thing with Edey is he was about to find it. Like he'd knocked a couple free throws down. He'd gotten a tough bucket. He'd gotten a tough rebound. He's a guy who needs to find his rhythm right now. And it looked like he was about to find it. And then unfortunately he had 5 fouls and quickly picked up the 6. Right. Like, but I obviously you guys got to show it and really, but I'm not worried about Edey, man. I think I saw flashes tonight. He ran to a buzzsaw. He can figure it out. But hold on, man. Win's a win. Got to score a lot of points till we get these guys back. But that's a fun way to watch basketball too.
Cool.
Another thing about Edey too, man, that after that Pacers game and all the YouTube clips that came out of it and breaking his game down, all those type of things. The Utah bigs like, nah, bro, you ain't finna get me. Like he came in like, nah, we were finna do this kid tonight, man. Like he ain't going off on us like that. So yeah, that kind of stuff is gonna happen with Edey. Like, what I mean? He's one of those guys who's just a gravitational player. He's a big name. He's a known name. So if he does anything, it's gonna be, elevated. It's gonna be blown up even more. So after that performance against the Pacers, that these guys, bigs and other team, like, nah, man, he ain't finna get no highlight in on me like that. But I think it was some of that as well.
Yeah, for sure. Nate, I know you're gonna get out of here, but any last things you got? We'll kick you out of here before we kind of look around the league and look ahead to the next game. But you'll be on here Friday. But any last thoughts you got before we get out of here?
Nah, man, it's fun to have our semblance of our actual team back. It's fun to see it in person. I don't get to see it nearly as much as you guys do. So glad we got to win on opening night. Looking forward to many more.
Nope, for sure. All right, well, Nate, drive safely. Charge your phone. I don't know why you don't have a charge in the car. Charge your phone on the ride home. It's just a smart thing to do. And King Mick said so. So make sure you go do it. All right, man, we'll see you. All right, let's get Nate out of here. Then we're gonna do now a little bit of the look ahead and the look around. So we're gonna look around the league real quick. And I know a lot of people have looked ahead to the Rockets, and we have them coming up. But if you look ahead to them, the Rockets lost tonight Did you know that, Sain? The Rockets lost tonight to the Charlotte Hornets.
Yep.
LaMelo went off. He played well. But all in all, I don't know if you saw this. I wrote down that Sengun had 18 rebounds, 25 points, which is crazy. So,
damn.
Them losing tonight, I don't know. Does that worry you or does that make you feel okay?
The Houston team is good, man. They're kind of going to be who they are. I see the Grizzlies going. I don't know how many times we play them. We're not losing to Houston because I think the guys like Ja, guys like Dez, guys like Jaren feel a way that they lost to Dillon Brooks, especially that one game when he really, acted a fool on us. Dudes ain't losing to Houston. It just ain't happening. Like they're going to get up for their game. They're going to blitz. They're going to beat the crap out of Houston. So I'm not. That team's good though, man. They're really good. They got a lot of talent on that team. Good coaching. They don't have any superstar level players on that team, but that team is very good. So I'm looking forward to that game. I'm a slick Houston Rockets fan. My guy, I can't remember his name. He came on my show. He's the guy who runs their spaces. And he's a content creator as well.
He's a good guy.
It's been a Spaces host. I can't think of his name right now. Awesome Twitter account to follow. After just conversations with him, I really like what Houston's doing down there. Reed Shepherd, of course. I'm looking forward to that game. But I think, like I said earlier, man, we have to understand that if you go back in time, you remember there were times where the Grizzlies were good, but certain teams were just kind of big bro us, right? Or kind of like, little kid us, right? Son us a little bit. We are that team now, man. We're that older team. We're not a young team anymore. We're a team that's entering their prime. Jaren, Ja, Dez, they're all entering their prime, right? They're going to be teams. So I'm excited about it. You saw that tonight, man. Like that Utah team had a crazy crowd behind them. They were coming back in the game. It's like, all right, let's stop screwing around with these dudes. Let's go ahead and win. And I think that's something we'll see a lot this year. And I think the Houston team is good. I don't think they quite know how to win yet. Plus, they got Dillon on the team, so they're so good with Dillon Brooks out there. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And I don't know if Adams is playing. I know he set out tonight. I'm not sure exactly why, but he could be coming back. That might be an issue. I would assume that if he's healthy enough, they're going to try to bring him back. But looking around the league a little bit more, the Pacers beat the Pistons. James Wiseman probably tore his Achilles.
Damn.
Which sucks. Really bad. Another injury that I saw was God, who was that?
The Pelicans.
Pelicans.
DeJounte Murray.
Yep, DeJounte Murray broke his fractured his left hand. So he had 14 points, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds in the opener, but ended up breaking his hand, which is crazy. I haven't seen any other major injuries come out of the opening night, which is obviously something we don't want to see anything crazy. But looks like the game is coming down to the final minutes of the Phoenix Suns and the Clippers. They're coming down, and it's getting close there. So just going through these real quick. Trae Young, 30-point double-double. Atlanta beat the Brooklyn Nets 121-16. Dame had 30 points. We had 6 triples, 124-109 against the 76ers. Brandon Ingram, 33 points. A lot of people, I saw that space the other day. They wanted Brandon Ingram in the M. He had 33. CJ McCollum had 23. DeJounte Murray had 14, 10, and 8 before he got hurt. But they beat the Bulls pretty bad. And that's the only games I see right now. Just kind of looking at the stats. So a lot of games are finishing up. So I honestly, I know I saw the Orlando beat Miami pretty good. And it was in Miami, which is nice. So,
Orlando's going to be good, man.
Yeah, Orlando is good. But the Cavs beat the Raptors. Raptors look horrible. The Warriors 139-104. Trailblazers suck. They don't look good at all.
They ain't trying to win. They ain't trying to do nothing. No, but I'm going to say this, man. Like you talk about stuff going on around the league. I know that we had a nightmare season last year, right?
Yeah.
And I know our fans have, major PTSD. I want to say I get it, but I don't, because I think that there's power and positivity. I think that's in the past. We're in a total different season. And I said all this to say we have to be grateful for where we are. I know it's kind of cute to just say things that kind of get engagement on Twitter, and the Grizz PR dropped the injury list, and we knew he was on the list. Ain't like we were surprised by something, right? And then everybody's, oh man, don't do this to us again, all that. Man, there are some teams who really have some DeJounte Murray, who is a offseason trade acquisition by New Orleans, is done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's done. He broke his hand. He's probably going to be gone for most of the season. You know what I mean? You have Philadelphia. They don't have either of their top two players right now, in Joel Embiid and Paul George. And we've got there is four rotation players out, right? Yeah, but there are no major injuries except for GG's. And he's got a broken foot. It's not like it's any kind of like knee ligaments or ACL, none of that type of stuff. It's a broken foot, and he should be fine. But like I said, everything else, Jaren, he'll be back really soon. Vince, he'll be back soon. Luke Kennard, he'll be back soon. We have a lot more to be grateful for than to, be stressing and tripping about, because it could be a lot worse, man. Like, guys are gonna get hurt throughout the year. So, that's kind of our blessings, man. Everything's gonna be good. Everybody stay positive. We good. We're in a good place right now. For sure.
For sure. I want to break down the Rockets a little bit, but I'm trying something new. I'm hoping it all works. We have a video that Ryan is going to try to do a small breakdown of a game. It's a minute 50 seconds. So stay tuned. We're going to let Ryan kind of walk through a little bit of explanation of the next game and kind of what to look for.
There's one main thing I want to focus in on the Rockets game on Friday for the Grizzlies. And that is the Houston Rockets 3-point defense. Last year, they were a top 10 team in opposing three-pointers made at only allowing 12 per game. Also, opponents were only taking 35 threes per game, which isn't a high number, isn't the lowest number. It's middle of the pack for the NBA. The best stat I think that we could talk about to kind of look for indicators of how the Grizzlies are doing is the 3-point percentage for the Grizzlies, because last year the Houston Rockets were second in the league in opponents' 3-point percentage, only allowing teams to shoot 34.9% from the 3-point line, and that was second only to the New Orleans Pelicans, who are number one at 34.8%. So only a tenth of a point difference in percentage. So the Houston Rockets are a hard to close out, scrambling, length, athletic defense that likes to take away open three-pointers for the Grizzlies. So how will this affect the Grizzlies for Friday? Will the new offense for the Grizzlies open up more three-pointers for them? Will the Grizzlies be actually able to convert them when they do open up? Or does this mean that we're going to have a huge night from Ja and Bane getting to the lane on those closeouts? And is this a big game for Zach Edey? His first standout game living at the rim against a smaller front line of the Houston Rockets. So 3-point defense for the Rockets, I think, is a huge key for them and something to watch for on Friday. And if the Grizzlies can attack those hard closeouts and get past the athleticism of the Houston Rockets to convert at the place that they love, the rim.
All right, so I talked to Ryan a little bit after he did that video, and then after this game went off with Charlotte. He says the first thing is Charlotte went 15-39. And that's really why they won that game. It's not about the 15-39. It's about the 15. Houston went 13-43, so they only made 13. They did end up shooting more three-pointers. I told you earlier about Sengun having 18 rebounds, but they got out-rebounded by 13. So if you're looking at kind of what the game might look like Friday night, it has to be, one, they got to knock down open three-point shots, and they have to rebound. And I don't know if they're going to have Adams back or not, but getting out rebounded by 13 is kind of big. And so I'm curious how this team responds if we keep taking the three-pointers. But if you looked at the Grizzlies tonight, they took so many three-pointers. We were on pace for 60-plus at one point. Let's see how many they ended up with. They ended up with 45. They hit 17 of 45. If we can do that again, do you feel good about Friday night?
Yeah, I do. I feel good about Friday anyway, bro. I think Ja got this game circled on the schedule because I like the stuff that Dylan was on last year. Oh yeah, we gonna turn up on them folks, bro.
I like it.
I'm with it.
Yeah, I like it. All right, so one, I appreciate everybody hanging out with us. We're trying to keep these to an hour. I know sometimes they might go over if it's a big game. Sometimes these big games kind of just go crazy, especially with everybody kind of filing in here. We're trying to keep these to an hour. It's a long season. We don't want to get it kind of over our skis, over our skis. That's the word. Anyway, but Nate will be back here Friday night. But your show is obviously, it was today. So make sure if you missed it, go back and check it out.
Yeah.
You can watch it. And then Friday, you'll get out a show the afternoon of the game. And so go and watch it at noon. So make sure you check it out. But also the Daily Grind is in the morning. It'll be that 7:30 a.m. Central Time. It'll be Luke. I'm not sure. I think it's Paris Sharkey's with him tomorrow. And so our Grizzlies beat reporter, Paris Sharkey, will be with Luke in the morning. It's at 7:30. I'm there a lot. I know Wayno's there. King Meeks, you're there a lot too. Saying there's a lot of the OGs that are kind of filing in the morning, kind of as you're going to work or driving or whatever. A lot of times you can kind of pull it up and check it out. But any last thoughts you got before we get out of here?
Man, y'all might want to stay online for a minute, man. We might got a little bonus coverage for y'all, man. Stay up.
Bonus.
Yeah, stay on Twitter for a minute, man. Something might pop up on your screen.
All right. So
hold tight. Everybody in the chat, man, hold tight, man.
All right. So if we're looking for
1400 right now, y'all just hang around for a minute, man.
Listen, it's not even midnight yet.
I know it, bro. You know, so sometimes stuff happen after hours. Sometimes.
I like it. Listen, I appreciate everybody coming in. It has been a fun opening night. I missed that we didn't have Nate here just because it's the norm, but I had to find somebody that was kind of a big name, somebody cool. So we had to go after you, Sain.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, Greer. You're doing great stuff, man. Like I said, I commend you for what you're doing. Grizz 901, your second season. Man, let's rock, man. Let's dominate this shit, man, with Bluff City Media, bro.
Yep. We are. We're going to dominate with Bluff City Media for sure. But make sure you check us out Friday night. Make sure you check out after this show. Stay tuned on Twitter. There could be something that pops up. Could be some fun times. You know what? I'm probably not going to bed. I might stay up and hang out.
Stay up, Grill, man. I'll stay up for a minute, bro. Get you a Red Bull with your boy, Grill.
Hey, that's all we got tonight. I am Daniel Greer. That is Anthony Sain. Make sure you tune in here Friday night. As soon as the game ends, we're going to hit the button and we're going to go live, and we'll be here right with you at each and every game. But that's all we got. 2 things. Be nice. Tell your friends.